Hi everyone, Mark here. So today we're starting a new channel about Daito-ryu. Um, I'll assume that you know about Daito-ryu, at least in the broad strokes, if you're here. If you randomly clicked on this video and you have no idea what Daito-ryu is, you can check the links in the description. But basically, it's a classical martial art from Japan, widely credited as the ancestor to Aikido. I've been living in Japan for about 12 years now. Started to travel in Japan about 14 years ago. I've been practicing at the Shinbukan Dojo in Katsushika, Tokyo, Japan for pretty much this whole time. It used to be the headquarters for Daito-ryu. Now the headquarters have moved to a different location in Yogoku, more in central Tokyo. But I still practice there, and I practice in a number of dojo. And today, since it's the first video, we're going to discuss why I created a channel, what content you can expect here, and in what format and when, can you expect it, and what kind of release schedule. So, first things first, why create a channel dedicated to Daito-ryu? Certainly not to sell you anything. This is more a personal vlog / channel. It's not something I'm doing associated with any organization per se. I am considering eventually opening a dojo of my own. I'm currently training still under the headmasters of the tradition, but I am considering opening a dojo at some point. But even if I do, I don't think promoting the dojo here would really help unless some of you are living in Japan already or somehow considering moving here. Seminars, again, not something that I do. I cannot do it. I don't have the instruction license that are required for that. And if you are someone who is interested in getting a seminar in your country and there's no presence there from Daito-ryu, you need to contact headquarters and they'll pick an instructor to send your way, or something's going to get organized like that. I am working on the outline of a book right now. I'm not really intending to push its sales in any way. It's really something I'm doing, out of love for the tradition, out of passion. I will mention it here, I'm sure, at some point, but more because it's in line with hopefully the reason why you're here, and the interest in Daito-ryu at some level, more than it is about making a buck out of it. I'm really starting this because I feel I have a duty and a responsibility to make sure that what is known about a tradition is useful in the sense that you can make something out of it, but also accurate. There's a lot of things about Daito-ryu that are myths, but not necessarily with any foundation in the sense of where it comes from. There's a lot of made-up stories, more than like oral tradition, so to speak, which is fine. But I think it does confuse people when it comes down to Daito-ryu, and it confuses people that are legitimately trying to understand the tradition to some degree, especially practitioners, who may basically stumble upon various content and then start to wonder whether they should take that into account in some way. So to me, it's important that I find a way to help provide some accurate information and knowledge about the tradition, or at least to the best of my ability. I'm not the perfect source of information. I'm still the history of the tradition is still something I'm researching, and there's areas of the tradition that are still kind of blurry to even the most the individuals that have done the most research on the subject. But at least to have some level of clarity, I think, or at least honesty in regards to that is important, and I hope to be able to live to that standard. I hope that that kind of information, or at least the subjects that we're going to be talking about here, are going to allow to enhance and contextualize the training for members of the tradition. But at the same time, I also hope it's going to provide some historical material and kind of general food for thoughts to non-practitioner who either may are looking into joining a tradition in the future and would just want to learn more about it beforehand, or people who have no intention of joining but are interested about a tradition for other reasons. Now, why do a vlog? Partially because, well, I'm already doing a blog at Daito-ryu.blog. The link is in the description. And on one hand, I'm hoping to boost / supplement the content of that blog. Maybe it's going to be with, I'm not exactly sure, interviews. At some point, maybe just reviewing videos that are already online. We'll see where it goes. But I'm also mindful of the fact that when you're putting something into writing, it makes it a little less accessible to people, or at the very least, when you make something in like a podcast format or in a video format, this is something you can listen to in the background and still get something out of it. Quite frankly, also some of the subjects that I'm hoping to discuss, I could discuss them on the blog, but whatever goes there takes a significant amount of redaction time. It takes a lot of time to actually write a well-polished article, and sometimes it's just easier to put something in, like on video and just share it as is. It gets you the information more quickly. It's a little less effort for me, so I can put out more information out there within the same amount of time. And the third reason, which is arguably one that is most important for me at this point, I'm already speaking and interacting with people on various forums about Daito-ryu. On Facebook, I pushed a few things on Reddit recently. I'm trying to basically create an official space for interacting with people. People that may have questions or thoughts or comments that they want to share, and to which they'd like to have answers or response or whatnot. And that, I think, being able to doing this on YouTube is a good thing, because it's going to allow me to basically put out some videos in response to some of those questions or comments. And hopefully that's going to create some discussion space where, there's with some level of curation, where the information that gets to you hopefully is going to be, again, accurate, of quality, and something that's going to be of interest to you. Now, regarding that content, what to expect? Well, first, what not to expect, maybe. Again, no promotional material. I don't intend to sell stuff. I don't intend to even, Daito-ryu as a practice. If you are interested, contact the headquarters dojo, or contact the dojo, like the dojos nearest to you, and get in touch with them and go and practice. Hopefully, if you do so, you're going to find the practice interesting, but I'm not here to try to convince you that, say, for instance, Daito-ryu is better than something else. That's not in line with how I think about it anyway. Don't expect secrets, or so-called secrets, or demos or technical breakdowns or any content of the kind. I'm personally not a fan of those videos. Not that I don't watch them, not that I don't find some of them interesting. I just think it's kind of easy to miss a lot of the context and to on one hand, and on the other hand, again, if you want to learn a classical martial arts, or if you want to learn really any martial arts, it's really hard to get to the crux of things, to the really interesting parts of things in an online forum of any kind, whether it's video or textual or otherwise. And I'm not really interested in doing that. What I am interested in doing, though, is discussing general concepts that I think are often overlooked due to the fact that people are looking more for techniques. The general concepts are, or at least some of them, can be talked about relatively easily. And if you are not a practitioner, it might actually it might give you an idea of what Daito practice can look like. And if you are a practitioner, hopefully it's going to give you some insight into how the practice can benefit you most, and how you can make it more productive, perhaps. History. I'm not a historical researcher by trade, but it's something I've started to do relatively recently. It's extremely interesting. Daito-ryu has, a relatively short recorded history, but it's also a very dense one, and one that branches in so many ways. So it's very interesting to dig into it, and also having a better understanding of the forefathers, the people that came before us, I think is important if we want to have a better understanding of our practice to some degree. Obviously, if you put questions in comments, I'll be going. At least I'll try to go through your questions when they come up, and I'll try also to create response video to the ones that either come up the most often or the ones that are that seem to me like they would be of interest to a general audience. I'll introduce some personal thoughts about the practice here, but not too many. Personal thoughts are just that. They're personal. They inform my practice, but I'm not necessarily convinced that they would inform your practice. And so maybe if we get to meet someday, I'll tell you more about that. But overall, I think perhaps letting you know about what I've experienced in the practice and how I've interpreted it is probably as far as I'm going to be going in terms of personal thoughts. So in terms of the content, that's pretty much it. In terms of release schedule, probably going to be releasing something once every week, every 2 weeks. I'm not sure yet. This is kind of new to me. Trying to do some vlog podcasting on YouTube. And I'm not exactly sure how much preparation time is going to take me. Probably going to be working on this through the week, and then towards the end or on the weekend, on around lunchtime or something, do the recording and just put it up. But if you have any suggestion on that end, they would be more than welcome. I might also do more frequent shorts at some point. Not sure. I know it seems to, garner interest to some degree. So if having shorter clips would be more productive, maybe I'm going to go there. I'm not sure. I'm pretty new here, so I'm just trying to figure out how to put some interesting information out there in a way that will be productive to the goal that I've mentioned. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for the time, and until next time.